question. So it says Andy has some counters. All right, so Andy has some counters. 15% are red. So I'll make a little note of this. 15% are red. 2/5 of the counters are blue. So we've got percentages and fractions. That might not be as helpful as it could be. We could change that into percentages maybe. Since the rest of the counters are yellow, there are 27 yellow counters. So if we put up blue and yellow, let's try and find out what percentages blue and yellow are, because then we will have the whole collection of percentages, if you like. So 2/5 are blue. What is 2/5 as a percentage? Now, there's a nice quick way of doing this. You can use equivalent fractions to get nicer fractions to work out percentages. I'll show you a couple. 10 and 100 are really nice fractions to turn into percentages if they're over 10 or over 100. To turn 5 into 10, I would times by 2, so I times the top by 2 as well. So 2/5 is the same as 4/10, which you might be able to get out here. You might know what that is as a percentage now. If you don't, then carry on going to 100 times by 10 to get to 100. 10 times 10 is 100, so times the top by 10, that would be 40. Whenever you get it to over 100, that is the percentage on top. Straight away you've got it, 40%. 40 out of 100, because 4% means out of 100 per 100. So 40% for blue. Now, it says the rest are yellow. So I've got 15% plus 40%. That's a total of 55% combined for red and blue. Alright, so what's left for 55%? Well, to get to 100, we do 100 take away 55. That leaves me with 45% for yellow. Okay, 45% for yellow. So 45% is yellow, and there are 27. We know how many yellows there are. There are 27 yellow counters. The question actually wants me to work out how many blue counters there are. How many blue counters? Well, luckily we changed all of our fractions and percentages to all in terms of percentages. So we now know that 45% is worth 27, but how much is 40% worth? That's what they want us to work out, isn't it? Because we need to work out how many blue counters there are. So I'll show you how I would do it. I would say that I know that 45% is equal to 27. I would think to myself, I'm trying to get to 40%, and then if I knew what 40% was, that would be the answer. But I can't go straight to 40%. I can't find a way of timesing or dividing straight away to get from 45 to 40. So I'm going to need a stepping stone percentage. Okay, a stepping stone. What could I go down to from 45, which would then allow me to times that number by something to get to 40? Well, I can see that 5 goes into both of these numbers. So if I could find out what 5% was, then I could find 40. How do I get from 45 to 5? What am I dividing by? Well, I'm going to divide that by 9. 45% divided by 9 would give me 5%. And then I could times that 5% by 8. And that would get me to 40. And I like to use that method of a stepping stone in between. So on the other side, I could just do the same thing to the actual value, and then we'll get the answer. So 45% is 27. We divided this by 9, so I'm going to divide this by 9 as well. 27 divided by 9 is 3. So now it's telling me 5% is 3. What they call counters. And then times that by 8, just as we did on this side. 3 times 8 is going to be 24. So then 40% is 24. Therefore, there are 24 blue counters. Okay, and I could also go back and work out the reds if I wanted to, if it asked me to do that, because I know that 5% is 3. 15% would be 3 lots of 5, which would be 9. And then we already worked that one out to be 24 counters in total. All right, and then even if the question asked me how many counters were there, I could answer that as well. So I find that quite a useful method. Hope that's been useful to you.